Hey guys, what is up? Um, Yesterday I came home for the New York session as usual, and I felt a bit lost because the previous day I didn't have a chance to do my own TA. Mark out some key levels and other details. So I thought, I haven't done a stream in a while. I mean, not publicly. So why not do it? Share the levels with you guys and basically make an update. So let me just post the stream link on Discord. All right. Today I was I couldn't do much. I was kind of stressed. I was pressed on time. Um, so I only focused on the dollar against the yen. And I got 2 trades, 1 break even, but then I made up for it with this 5R. That was nice. Just to point out the logic of it, it was kind of classical. What happened was kind of classical. So let me just remove some of these things. Alright, just to make the chart easier. I can keep the opening range marker there. But essentially, and let's keep the vectors. Essentially, I was looking at 2 things. Price being able to keep not only above this guy, this FVG, which is a vector, but also above this guy, which, if you have been on the community, kind of as a joke, we call this an alpha block. It's an order block that got its low taken before making a gap. And because we did, and because when we took this low, it was a very small SFP, but it was an SFP nonetheless. When we did take it, we had this last fair value gap that obviously got engulfed, so inverted, and I marked it in. I think I marked it in like a little bit higher than this, a little bit. I used the ATR over there as a stop loss at the time, and basically I marked out that high as a target, for the very simple reason that it was the closest pivot to the second deviation of the opening range. I didn't really have any other reason, to be honest. Apparently it was a good call, right? But to be honest, this was no technical. I had no technical edge to decide on choosing that high. Generally, if the opening range is a little bit higher and if it gives me an already good risk reward, I'll just use the high of the opening range because it's a high probability liquidity to be taken. And it was so bullish the way that we took it. At the time I was with the guys on Discord, I just moved the stop to here and just let it go to the second, to the final TP, so to speak. So that was that. another reason for me to think about going long, and because I already got this on Discord, I can delete it now. The main reason that I thought about going long or wanted to go long was because I think this was on the daily. Yeah, on the daily we basically had this last support area there, just using that high over there, and at the time, and I mean at the time that I can delete this too as well. At the time that we pushed away from here, this was just a block that I had marked out. I only thought about us reaching it once we broke below this guy. Didn't think it would be this fast, but I guess that's what Trump does, right? So my bias is still to come to this range POC. This is something that I talked about, I don't know, maybe a month ago, something like that. This is essentially the range from here to here, if I'm not mistaken, exactly. The bias is still to go there. Not sure exactly when, but that's a story for another day, right? So in terms of what I think is probable, is to reach that range POC. It would be a little bit odd to just bounce from here, especially because this is not that big of a reaction, in my opinion. And price is really not that bullish, right? So what I might consider next is to either reach the anchored view up from up there, which we're slowly building down. It'll get us somewhere into one of these zones. Alright, these two yellow lines. One of these zones. We also have the previous day view up coming at 146739, so I'm going to mark that too. And we're also going to have the range value area low. Let me just get it to here. Okay, same thing. Okay, I'm gonna keep that there. Essentially these levels for me are going to be what might decide trades for tomorrow. The view ups, the anchored view ups, and the previous day view up. So I'm gonna keep those there. Essentially we're just following the trend down. The thing that makes me want to come back up a bit, oh, and let me also mark this guy. The thing that makes me want to come back a bit is essentially recovering some of these vectors at least. But I would prefer to continue the downtrend just as long as it is a downtrend. Let me check something else as well. Weekly levels that we have. Let me mark out this guy. And we have some reactions here. Mostly this one and this one, so I'm gonna keep this one as well. Let's see. be here too. But that's way too high. I don't think I'm interested in that. I can delete all of this now. And that. Okay, so those weekly levels I'm gonna keep there. Yep, I guess that's it. So for tomorrow, I'll be looking at the levels that you're seeing marked on your... I can delete this PSP then. Let's just keep the weekly level. So I'll basically the levels that I'm interested in are the ones that you're seeing on screen. Can also delete that, delete this. That's a trade over there, I think. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep these. Okay. If you want to take a screenshot, I'm also gonna post this on my. Let me download this. Okay. So this is for the end. Let me save. Do I not have auto save? I do. That's weird. Okay. So I didn't trade Bitcoin today, so let me update all of it. Let's go to the 15 first. Let's just update levels. Okay, we finally took those equal lows that I talked about. Let me clean up the chart. No, I don't want to delete that. But that can go. This can also go. We still haven't taken that low. Alright. Not even on CME. We did. Okay, we did take this low on the CME. Interesting. Is this... CME gap. Interesting as well. Is this a market gap? It is. This is a market gap going from New York to Sydney. Also interesting. Okay, so we have a gap from Wednesday. Let's mark that out. It's this section over here. So this little tiny order block might have something to say and might be a good target. So this low, let me just change the name here. This low was taken on CME. Hey Alexa. I just saw the chat. Sorry, brother. So if this low is taken, this range might be interesting for a trade. We have just gapped above it. I don't know if we're gonna come for this 15-minute fair value gap. Oh, this is an alpha block. This could be interesting. The block could be interesting. It's also a drawn liquidity. Yeah, brother, I did some trades on the account. It's basically break even. could have gone better, but I did a trade on yen, and apparently I got out on the top because now it dropped kind of hard. So could be better, but it's not going bad anyway. I'm taking my time. One thing that I noticed previously was, oh yeah, there it is. Let me just activate vectors here. So this is our order block, and another thing that I'm interested in is that this is an inverted fair value gap on the 4-hour. So can we maybe have a situation where we do something like this? You know, something like this, or this. I don't know. But we should, because we took this low on CME, we might have a chance to reach these order blocks. And if this doesn't happen, then it'll be bullish because we have equal highs here. So it could be. I don't want to rule that out. I do not want to rule that out. It's nice in the sense that it becomes an easy trade-off. Like if we see some price action that shows as a reversal and it doesn't fall from there on these sections, the order block and the inverted FVG, it will probably be easy to know where the invalidation is, depending on market structure at the time, of course. But it'll probably be an easy invalidation, and if it does get invalidated, we know that these equal highs will be a target, right? So it really depends on what it does tomorrow on New York. I don't think that Asia is gonna do a whole lot, at least probably not today. I think because if we do start falling, I would look probably at 63 or 70 weekly level. We don't have any other gaps, right? Right. Not higher? No. We had, no, it was done. Okay. So yeah, basically we don't have any other reason to come back down. It's just a matter of support and resistance now. But this was cool. We talked about this. We talked about the idea of just SFPing one of the highs in the Discord. That was a good reaction. Now we got a reaction from these highs. I don't know if it's gonna be that good, you know, but it's interesting so far. And now we have this market gap. So price is very likely to come back into this this range. So it'll really be interesting to see if anyone is trading Asia today. It'll be very interesting to see what it does once it gets inside this range. If the range holds, I think it's very probable that we reach this gap over here on the CME. This gap starts at 85,135 and ends at 85,680. So reaching and or filling that gap should be very likely. At the very least, super high probable target is taking these equal highs. And yeah, I guess that's it. This would actually be a considerable and high probability long, I think. Starting by, for example, a long like this. This is what I mean. This is a very high probability long, even as a limit trade. So gap, gap. I'm gonna leave that there. See tomorrow how it pans out. Let me save, download. Let's go back here. Levels. Okay, previous day view up inside gap makes it even more high probability. This is going to be. This is naked point of control. Oh yeah, when we got these guys that were touched. Let me see CME if it's the same story. No, okay. So that's interesting. So these guys that I have marked down. Oh wait, I was looking at the different low. Yeah, okay. It was over here, and the previous day view up was over there. So these levels that I have here, worthless. They really don't matter. Naked day view up and the red line, which represents the POC, really don't matter. On the CME they were touched and reacted to. So it doesn't matter. So yeah, it's really about coming back into this area and pumping from there. I would say touching the previous day view up. And then we shall see what happens inside this range, inside this area. Another download. Now, NASDAQ. NASDAQ coming down to the ugliest highs that I've ever seen on the daily chart. They need some cleaning. Let me just change to the 15 to check out the levels. These I can probably delete. Let me clear this. This is long gone. This is long gone. Gone, gone. Okay. Now let's update. Let me see if we have a view up there. It's higher, okay. So anchored view up from the top. We are following it very nicely. We should, as a consequence, if price does something like coming above this guy, bouncing from it, we will be above this, probably above this anchored view up from the top, and then we can use it as support to reach this guy, which would be the order block itself, right? It's kind of perfectly lined up there. I should probably just download this as is, like that. Who knows, might be a good wizard post. But I think it would be kind of weird to leave those guys down there. I mean, this guy down here. So I would like to see it being cleared. It's those ugly lows that I don't like, and yeah, we should probably reach that. Not really much to say about it then. We broke this near point of naked point of control. Yeah, I would like to see the liquidity being taken. But at the same time, I know how NQ likes to leave equal lows for later. So if it doesn't, gets close but doesn't take it, and if we see a jump back above view up, I'll think about targeting 19,400, something like that. The ES is probably something similar. Let me see. The ES did take liquidity. Is this true on CME? Oh wow, what a difference. The chart from FXCM, this low, notice that it's super close to each other, but on CME, let me choose hide all. On the CME, the difference is staggering. Jesus, it's so far further down, so much further down. Wow, that's a lot. That's really bearish. Yeah, the comparison is that this on the CME price is actually around this area. I'm gonna change again, see, it's around this area. That's really bearish. So yeah, we're kind of obligated to continue looking for shorts. Let's see the daily. Okay, I'm gonna mark out that high over there. Let's mark out this weekly level. Oh my gosh, I have so many things to clear. Let's clear everything. Let me mark out that guy again. Okay. Also, I don't want this. Actually, yeah, whatever. Let's just focus on that weekly level right now, because that would also mean a liquidity being swept here. Funny, it's reacting to this weekly point of control. Okay, but let's keep that there, and from there let's also mark out this guy, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nice reactions over there. And let's also keep this guy, because we have a good reaction here, so it kind of lines up. Reaction over there too. Okay, let's keep these 3 weekly levels for now. Daily. We're essentially at the auto block. Feels like we're gonna continue dropping. Yeah, I would be looking at 5,300. This looks like a really nice weekly level though. Let's keep an eye on that. Yeah, essentially that's the point. keep looking there. Let's see the range here before the breakout. Let me see if it changes if I do this. So this is 5,658. 5,000. It's basically the same thing. 4 hour. Let's put it onto the candle. Like so. Okay, let's put the range POC there. And let's also mark out the value area low. Something to note is that we have a gap here that was not completely filled. So it might be a target sometime soon. Let me see the regular trading hours. Oh damn, that's big. That is huge. No gaps here, apparently. Yeah. Okay, so I would look. Let me see what's the POC of this. Oh, it's higher. That's not good. Because it's higher, price gapped down in between it. So this POC has no effect. So yes, I have no reason to think that we have to go higher right now. I am now even more inclined into taking this low. So let's keep that in mind, and let's keep also in mind that all of this is an RTH gap. Okay. Sorry, let me put that as okay, changing back. Yeah, that's big. So basically we covered all of this. If we recover all of this, then it's probable that we just come higher. But let's not start longing right now. After taking this liquidity and having a decent reaction, yeah, we can target that. So let me just go over to the 15, see the levels. So here's the view up here. Another there. And I'm not gonna mark out anything else. At least not so far. Oh, maybe I can just mark out this one. If we eventually come back up, that can be useful. Otherwise, okay. Otherwise, nothing. Never mind. That should be interesting. We are probably going to have a very interesting week next time. Sorry, next week will probably be very interesting. And oh, and there's only one missing, gold. Oh, nice. That was nice. That was cool. It's cool that we just respected this high. I'm gonna guess we touched that POC? Kind of, okay. So this could almost be a breakaway gap if all of these highs were lower. Are they lower? No, they're not. Okay, so one thing that I would be looking into is this guy. Very much an inverted gap. Creating liquidity down here. This is probably also a Fibonacci level. Huh, interesting. That's basically golden pocket territory. So optimal trade entry would be around this inverted FEG, maybe the order block. We used the previous day VWAP and the naked point of control here. If it comes back down, takes liquidity, but respects the golden pocket or the IFPG / both, whatever, and starts pumping, nice. That's bullish. That's very bullish. If it fails, I would be looking here. I'm just gonna mark those guys, and that would be it. That is it. Yep, that's it, guys. That's it for me. Okay, ready for tomorrow. Oh, I forgot. Let me just let it load. Come on. Wait, I didn't. Oh, I did it here. Okay. Let me just unload this. Did I download for NASDAQ? Oh, okay. I was like, where did I save that market open gap? Okay, unload this. And that is it. That is it, guys. So, as usual, if you have doubts, come on Discord, ask them there, tag me if you need help. I was gonna say if you need a hand, if you need help understanding anything that I just said. And I'll see you tomorrow at New York Open. Last session of the week. Last session that I'll be testing out the new rules and demoing. If all goes well, next week I'll go back into the challenges and live training. Alright, guys, have a good night, sleep well, get some rest. I'll see you tomorrow.